Breakfast puppies, dinner puppies, lunch puppies, ain't no thing. I'll dust all them puppies because I'm Jebediah. I'm the farmer over here. I got all your dusting puppy needs.
This podcast contains adult language and content and is meant for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
We're all set to begin, so let's dive right in to bikers, dice, and bars. Talking bicycles and motorbikes, gamer things and all the like. You can listen to it in your cars, but mostly it's about dive bars. Bikers, dice, and bars.
Hey everyone, this is NPC. Due to a major amount of time crunch, this next tiny batch of episodes was edited in more of a rush than our usual process. I really wanted to get the entire 2020 backlog cleared out so I could start 2021 with a clean desk, but I didn't have a lot of time to do it. As such, our usual commitment to a higher standard is not quite as heavy here, and I apologize if the sound quality is just a bit off. This quick edit batch ends with the final episode of our Mothership actual play series, so if you want to skip ahead, we totally understand, but we did have a lot of fun doing it, so we hope you give it a listen. Anyway, on to the actual episode. Xander, what are you drinking?
I am drinking regret, bad decisions, and a week long of depression in one fell fucking swoop. Hello, MD 2020 Blue Boogaloo. Take two. Fuck me. Bling bling blue raspberry. Fuck my life.
Yeah, I'm sorry for everything that, everything that has happened recently. I know it's been a rough week or two, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm sorry that you're drinking that, but you asked and I delivered. And Jacob left all of that fucking Mad Dog at my house 2 weeks ago.
I will tell you that this Mad Dog tastes like this last week. This is what it tastes like. However, slightly chilled, which makes it not as bad because I have good friends. But otherwise, this drink tastes like last week, and I fucking hate it.
Oh, so I'm a good friend this week.
You get a pass on this one.
Okay.
And Jacob, what's in your glass?
Well, I just finished the last of some very nice Four Roses that I had in my flask, and I will be backing it up with some water and then probably joining Xander in the River of Regret.
Now, I know this is one of our offbeat episodes because we're doing a character jam. Woo! But I do want to circle back to what you just said, just in case someone is listening for whatever reason in the hopes of being educated. Tell us about Four Roses. What is that?
Four Roses? Well, Xander, I think you might be able to field this one better than I. How long have they been around?
Four Roses has been around for quite a long while, and it's one of the few brands of good old Kentucky bourbon where even their, starter level, just the Four Roses regular, is still pretty damn good. And their quality of product goes up from there. I've had their small batch before, which is pretty good as well. But then their single barrel is pretty top notch and a very reasonable price as far as a really good single barrel is concerned. So even, I think in Oregon, the base level Four Roses starts at about $20 and goes up from there. And so if you can get a good bottle of bourbon for $20, I think you're doing all right. And Four Roses is definitely one of them.
Yep. This is the small batch.
And I am over here drinking the Copa Company Winemaker's Cut Red Wine Blend. This is Copa Divino's Red Blend. Copa is, we keep talking about this goddamn winery from the Dalles. We got to get the dude, James. We got to get him on the mic sometime. Yeah. But Copa Divina is from the Sunshine Mill Winery, and it's basically their flagship product, and it's quite fantastic. It is a delicious drinking wine. I dig it. It's awesome.
It's one of the wines. It's one of the few really, really, really good wines where I really want to see them make a sherry out of it and see what happens.
Yeah. We've cooked with this wine. So, yeah, I could definitely see that being a thing.
Speaking of being a thing,
You're listening to Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Good segue, Xander. Recorded here in Portland, Oregon. As usual, I am your host, producer, and the guy who's pressing all the buttons and making horrible sounds, NPC.
I am just Jacob.
And Dr. Xander, Gerrymander, at your service.
And this is not one of our usual episodes, as I already mentioned. This is a character jam. We are bringing back two things which should have happened 2 weeks ago, but the Mad Dog killed us. But the Mad Dog is still sticking around because Jacob left 6 fucking bottles of it at my house secretly. I didn't realize he was doing that until that night we were cleaning up the studio, and Poppy's like, motherfucker. We saw 6 bottles hidden in the back of the studio. Thanks, Jacob.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the asshole from the Fraternal Order of Bartenders that left that almost empty bottle of Malort in the trunk of my car on my way back from Chicago. And of course, I'm like, I'm not going to not drink this, but also I'm going to hate drinking this.
I'm sure that story you shared did not factor into my thinking.
God damn it. I'm so sorry, NPC. I didn't realize that this asshole over here would pull that on you. And I apologize for everything.
I wasn't going to take it all the way back home just to bring it back here.
Well, there's 4 bottles still sitting on the shelf, and one of them, the red wine, got drank, but the blue wine is now in front of Dr. Xander, and
Jacob has now been declared an enemy of the state.
Mm-hmm. You know,
not the first time.
In 4 years, Xander, when you officially run for mayor, that should be part of your platform.
What, being an enemy of the state?
Yeah, that Jacob specifically.
Oh, no. I will designate him that. No problem. Done, and done.
Just Jacob, equally hated by all sides.
Well, this character jam, last time, we promised that we would do an attempt at making characters for an obscure, very set in the mentality of its time role-playing game called Ray Winninger's Underground. Now, a fun note about Ray Winninger. Ray Winninger has done a shitload of things. Ray Winninger is actually currently the product lead on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. But I think he might have gotten his start at Mayfair Games with Underground. Underground, I'm going to read the back of this.
Yeah, because I know nothing about this game.
In like red bloody paint letters, it says 2021, peace or pieces.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Paraguay was bad, but nothing could have prepared you for Los Angeles. Back in the jungle, it was still a tribe thing. You wanted to kill them, they wanted to kill you. No one knew why. But here, death isn't good enough. Here, they want you to hurt first. The sets, the 30s, the flyjackers, the estro-gin, TM, addled punks. The only thing standing between you and a body bag are your trusty GCS DW7070/G and designer genotype. You'd be surprised how often a skin that can shrug off 44 caliber loads comes in handy. One day, the punks will identify their real enemy and begin the serious violence. Bloodshed of the people, by the people, and for the people. Until then, it's time to run a check and take this war down into the underground. Now, one note is that on the back of this book, it doesn't actually tell you any goddamn thing about the game. It just has that blurb. This is a product of the 90s. Thank you, fucking White Wolf, for making popular this concept of making role-playing games, and instead of putting on the back, hey, this game is for ages whatever to whatever, you're going to need some dice, it's a story game, and it takes place in a fantasy setting or whatever, and replacing all of that with some fucking bullshit artsy wankery poetry.
What's the pub date on that anyways?
1993.
1993.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was. Yeah, I ran into this as I was exiting high school. So, yeah.
Okay, so this is the year 2021. So this is what's going to be in 2 fucking months after the worst year ever. And this is what we're... Okay, all right, got it.
So,
cool.
Xander, question for you. What was yesterday?
Yesterday was Veterans Day. Or Armistice Day.
This is a role-playing game where you play superheroes. Wait, not really. You play people who think they're superheroes because they're veterans, because they're super soldiers who've been kicked out of the military or retired. And in order to be a super soldier in the military and cope with the murder and the inhuman nature of your new powers and body, and the fact that you're expected to go out and murder man, women, and child and probably do more horrible things to them in the name of corporate greed, to cope with that, as you are getting genetically modified, before you're ever deployed to war, you're put in a fantasy world, a dreamland, slumberland, they call it. And in that world, you are programmed to believe you're a superhero.
This is actually one of the plots of, what the fuck was that show on Netflix? That
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. There is a plot on one of the Black Mirror episodes in which every soldier fighting this war is believing that they are attacking this like alien species, like an actual from beyond the galaxy alien species, and they've been genetically modified to believe this, when actually they're committing horrible acts of genocide against like a civilian population. So it almost makes me wonder if that's where they got the idea, because that was an episode from like 2 or 3 years ago, and this is from what, 93?
93.
Yeah. That makes me wonder a lot.
So at one point, when I was explaining this game to an acquaintance of mine who was a film buff, he's like, well, tell me what movie it's like. And I kind of had to like squint, and it wasn't that long ago actually, and went, so it's Platoon meets Dead Presidents meets Article 99 meets Captain America Civil War.
Meets Jacob's Ladder.
I was going to say with a touch of Jacob's Ladder, and I love the Dead Presidents reference because that is one of my favorite fucking movies.
Although, admittedly, you can go Jacob's Ladder or Article 99. You can flips either way. But yeah, if you've never seen that movie, Article 99, not the super most popular, it's kind of imagine Scrubs, but at a VA hospital under the Reaganomics.
Yikes.
So also, it's November. And even more fitting is the fact that the opening actual printed words on the inside of this book are a quote. Thanks for a continent to despoil and poison. Thanks for Indians to provide a modicum of challenge or danger. Thanks for vast herds of bison to kill and skin, leaving the carcasses to rot. Thanks for bounties on wolves and coyotes. Thanks for the American dream to vulgarize and falsify until the bare eyes shine through. William S. Burroughs, A Thanksgiving Prayer.
Yep. Oh, okay. I'm starting to pick up what's going on here. Okay. All right.
The second is a quote from a fictional president, from President Darrell F. Gates in his inaugural address, January 13, 2013. As an acquaintance of mine said in 1992, why can't we all just get along?
Yes, that Darrell Gates.
That's funny, too, because the inauguration is not supposed to be until January 20th, so he took it a week early, which makes me question what the fuck was going on in that situation.
And there are a whole lot of credits here, but the dedication is, it says, taken this one all the way back to the state of New York on June 19th, 1953, to Washington, D.C. on June 17th, 1972, March 4th, 1987, to Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968, and especially to that trail in Southeast Asia on May 11th, 1970. Y'all go out and make some trouble.
Woof.
Okay, so.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. I guess I'll buckle up. I don't know.
All right. So they're like many games of its time. It begins with like a colorful, written by the locals history lesson. And there's a whole lot of stuff in here. However, I highlighted some bits that I think are appropriate for us to keep in mind as we're playing this game, as we're making characters for this game. The American dream died a slow, wheezing death. Roughly 150 years of vigor, followed by 50 years of twilight, followed by a long 30 years of invalidity. That's why no one saw the end coming and why so few Americans have accepted the demise of their cherished ideals to this day. I like that quote.
Is the wheezing because they all had the COVIDs?
Well,
wheezing, polio,
there
tuberculosis.
Are so many ways in which this book predicted our current era. Noticed or not, the death of something so subtle as a dream had a surprisingly profound impact upon the earth and its inhabitants, both inside and outside the United States. To the alert observer, the world of 2021 is clearly a cold and dreary rat trap dominated by violent men and women who shoot or foreclose first and ask questions later. The death of the dream gave birth to a nightmare.
So what I'm hearing is that this year's not that bad, and in a couple months it's going to get worse.
Yeah, well, yeah. Here's some bits. There's some global decay. There's a whole world war that erupts. Corporates start taking power. They become like, the number one thing.
That doesn't even make sense. How could that possibly? Oh,
yeah. Some highlighted bits all across the globe. The gap between the upper and lower classes grew broader, and multinational corporations grew larger and more powerful than ever before.
That just doesn't check out or make sense. But whatever.
Furthermore, scores of government agencies and bureaus established to help monitor the citizenry have made a great deal of personal information about millions of Americans available to politicians willing to use such information unscrupulously. This is where they got it wrong. They blame it on government monitoring. No, it's Facebook monitoring. It's
social media.
Yeah, social media. They didn't predict that, but still.
I mean, there still is, a bunch of NSA shit and whatnot. So that it's close.
A whole wing of American popular entertainment has slowly become little more than a source of propaganda extolling the virtues of major militant corporations.
Nope, don't see it.
Yep.
More fake news.
Most soldiers serving with major conflict enlist at a young age, between 16 and 18, muster out in their 20s with non-combat related skills, with few non-combat related skills. As a consequence, veterans find it difficult to find jobs upon their return to the U.S. Poverty, coupled with the psychological stress of genetic enhancement, leads many veterans into a life of crime, filling the streets of many major population centers with genetically altered hoodlums who are trained for combat.
I'm sorry. So what you're saying in this weird futuristic dystopian novel is that there will be some point in which the United States government does not take care of its veterans to the fullest extent in which they deserve based upon the grueling tasks they had to endure on behalf of a grateful nation?
Perish the fucking thought, right? Never. No. That would never happen. Not in my America.
Oh, no. Okay. Just checking.
I just haven't really literally made a huge portion of my living for close to the last decade handling a lot of that. No, not at all.
Balderdash, sir. Balderdash and poppycock.
Piss posh and poppycock.
Anyway, there's a fun little page here that shows anatomy of a conflict, and it shows the date-by-date breakdown of how a certain battle at Paraguay happened and how it was corporate engineered to make certain sides of the conflict appear weaker than they were, so that the corporations could engineer how the conflict would go down. It's this really fucking dystopian look into how corporations essentially market war. Hold on.
Hold on. So you're telling me in this fictional world that corporations at some point go and, I don't know, influence the way that global politics works, while manipulating nations to go and use their militaries to go and further their own greedy interests?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Huh. I'd be a shame if that ever happened.
Yeah, man. That would.
You haven't even mentioned the private military companies yet.
I skipped over a lot here. I want to talk about the world powers for a minute. And mainly I want to talk about how, well, okay, first off, the names of the world powers. Are you ready? Neo-Deutschland. Yeah, neo-hyphen, because it's the 90s and everything was neo-hyphen in the future.
Yeah. When I hear Neo-Deutschland from a nation that's 70 years, I don't think of anything horrible. Let's continue.
Well, hold on. Hold that thought. At present, Neo-Deutschland is a theocratic semi-dictatorship built around the principles of Scientology. So you say you didn't hear anything horrible?
I don't know what to think about that.
And of course, the only unnamed world power so far, I think, let me make sure. Yes, of all the nations of the world that are listed here, the only one that has not been renamed is China. It is just China, as opposed to Neo-Vatican, that's a world power, the People's Republic of Quebec, New Providence, and Luna.
Hold on. The Quebecois finally managed to get independence in this world?
Uh-huh.
How terrible is Canada?
Oh, and they are 50% Scientologist.
Scientology is a major world religion.
Actually, holy shit. Yeah.
They're just taking the brunt of this one, aren't they?
There's a reason why the Vatican had to move to, I think, Mexico.
New Providence is, oh my God, New Providence is wholly owned subsidiary of the Avant Garbage Corporation.
That is a great fucking name. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know what they're about, but I'm in.
Anyway, okay. Other bits, Life of Urban America. Paragraphs, basically saying it sucks. Okay, prefrontals. Here's one. Over the last 50 years, increasingly sophisticated marketing tactics applied to consumers both inside and outside the United States have made many Americans very wealthy. But one of the basic principles that drives America's capitalist economy is the axiom of equilibrium. Whenever someone becomes wealthy, someone else becomes poor.
Again, this weird fictional thing you're talking about doesn't bear any resemblance to what we're living in today. It's funny though. It's a good thought.
So they start talking about technology of this game, the technology of 2021 of their fictional vision of the future. Computers, most stunning innovations of all. By 2021, virtually every device or appliance sold across the entire world has been designed to transmit digital information. They saw that coming. It's a shame that Shadowrun didn't, but this game did.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That said, they then cut it back by saying, you realize how they were stuck in their times by saying that devices are able to be controlled from any distance via digital phone lines. Firearms plug into computers worn by soldiers and transmit ammunition count and so on. They as you can see by the cover, cables and cords and straps. This is Rob Liefeld, the role-playing game. Oh, yeah, and flying cars. No flying cars. Popular video net programs in year 2021. Camelot, The Next Generation. The Tortinis, which is a futuristic sitcom. Audrey, Stephanie, Jason, and Horst, which is a sex opera. Teflon Blue, which is an erotic thriller. Combat, which is battle footage from the Third World Wars. And Aeon Flux, animated adventures.
Wait, what?
Aeon Flux. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and The Little Mermaid 2019, which is the sex fantasy. Okay.
I have a lot of questions about that.
New agencies monitor the citizenry and conduct covert operations abroad. No, who saw that coming?
Nope.
Corrupt politicians use these agencies to safeguard their own interests.
Nope.
In 2021, the federal government is more corrupt than ever.
Nope.
American politics dominated by three major political parties. This is something that every futurist vision of the 80s and 90s got wrong. They didn't predict that everything would just fucking stagnate. They predicted these new, wild, crazy parties, such as the Plutocratic Party, the Republicratic Party, and the National Anti-Socialist Party, which I highlighted. In 2018,
oh no,
the most radically conservative elements of the other parties came together to form their own party, the National Anti-Socialists, or NAS. They have adopted the suppression of sedition and the elimination of threatening elements within society as the cornerstone of their political agenda. In practice, this means that most of the policies advocated by the NAS are tainted by paranoia, bigotry, and hypocrisy.
I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Free speech has been curtailed. Certain varieties of terrorism are legal.
I have even more thoughts on this now.
It's
Is
like
this game becoming a little too real for you, Xander?
I feel like this game might have been written by someone who was like one of those
fucking
extras.
time traveler.
Yeah, like, okay, imagine one of those Star Trek episodes where the whole crew gets stuck in some kind of time loop, or they go to some planet and then they all come back and everything's fine. But everything's not fine if you think about it, because now you've got a few thousand crew members who are also there, who you don't put them on the main screen. You don't know what's going on with their lives. They've probably got some weird PTSD, and one of them wrote this fucking role-playing game.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I feel like I am reliving 2020 all over again right now, just on all the things that you have just been saying, and I don't appreciate that.
Well, let's get to the good stuff.
Oh, God.
The question is, are you a people person?
Not for long.
Your role in Underground, you and your fellow players take on the roles of boosted veterans who have returned from the wars to rediscover the nightmare that America has become. Things are bad, but your unique abilities give you the power to change them, should you so desire. So something to know about this game. We're each going to make a veteran. I'm just going to have the two of you do it, because I don't think I could both make a character and read the book at the same time. There's a lot of referencing in this. There's a lot of math too. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Maybe this is a good thing that Poppy's not here.
Yeah, she would hate it. Which is not to say anything of her mathematical ability, but role-playing games and a lot of math is just like, okay, can we do something else? And I get it. Totally. This game is actually, it's not for me. I would not run this game today in 2020. For one, the themes are a little too close to home. But two, there's some fuckity math in this.
It's a Mayfair game. All Mayfair games have fuckity math, and it doesn't end at character creation.
Yeah. So you're going to make veterans, and were you to actually take these characters and play them, you would be together going out fighting crime or doing whatever and trying to make a difference in your neighborhood. Because the game has a meta mechanic where you can take your own experience and invest it in your neighborhood to improve the area around you.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Here's the best part. If you want to improve the area around you, it actually doesn't cost that much XP. If you want to improve the area around you and have that improvement stick around, it costs godly amounts of XP.
So you can get temporary, it doesn't suck for the next week.
Yeah.
Or you can go, I actually went and spent a lot of political capital to go and really improve the neighborhood for the foreseeable future. So those are the two options.
Pretty much any of the cheaper improvements that you make will be regressed to status quo eventually, if not worse.
Yeah, that just none of this sounds like reality, but it's really interesting the way that you portray it as though.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. So, options. Is there something about, okay. I'll finish reading the role part, because this is something you should know when you make a character. During play, you and your friends will each invent details about your own veterans, just as a writer might invent details about the characters populating her novel, and work together to tell exciting stories about your veterans and their struggles. Yay!
PTSD, the role-playing game.
Yes, this is Veteran PTSD, the game. Exactly how your characters fit into the world of 2021, blah, 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 blah. It's up to the game master, but here are a few possibilities. Is there something about the world of 2021 that particularly alarms you and your fellow players?
Don't like the question at all.
Perhaps you should begin play as the founders of a vaunted terrorist group sworn to eliminate the hated feature or institution of society that bothers you the most. Okay, giving up on the system? Maybe you and your friends should begin as members of a street gang and carve out your futures on your own terms. Do you think the terrorists and activists pose an even greater danger to the public than the bureaucrats? Perhaps your veterans should begin play as government operatives, assigned the task of hunting down and suppressing terrorists and spying on America's enemies abroad.
That was a little too Antifa.
Are you more interested in protecting the citizens than changing the institutions? Maybe you and your friends should begin play as vigilantes or law enforcement operatives. Are you willing to let society fend for itself while you solve your own problems? Veterans might begin as corporate raiders or small-time politicians, hoping to maneuver themselves into a position where they can grab a piece of that pie for themselves. There we go.
Jacob,
Yes, sir.
what are you thinking?
Oh, I can go anyway. I'm a dark and despicable human being with a warped sense of humor.
Love it. Continue.
Okay. Then it goes into math. Math. Now, it uses very few charts, actually, but it all frequently references one big motherfucking chart called the unit chart, and it's a unit. It is a hefty unit of a table that converts everything into equivalent measures. But something you should know about the math system, the very basic number is that any stat that you have, any number that you have, any attribute, any skill, any ability, any of these things, the way that the numbers break down is, by definition, a completely average person possesses 0 in each ability and attribute. Furthermore, every 3 units added to anything doubles the effectiveness of that. Therefore, somebody with a strength of 3 has double the effect of somebody with a strength of 0. Someone with a strength of 9 is double the effectiveness of someone with a strength of 6. I know.
I'd like to point out that this is a slight modification of the base Mayfair system, which was originally designed to be able to run DC Heroes, the role-playing game, a game where you could have Robin and Superman play side by side and have the math work.
For example, if we're gauging something at its weight class, let's give it a size unit. A size unit of 0 is 100 pounds. That's a child. A size unit is 3 is 200 pounds, average adult. Size unit of 6 is 400 pounds. 9 is 800 pounds. 12 is 1,500, and so on. It's not quite exponential, but maybe it is. Maybe it's like a fractionally exponential. Essentially, though, you don't have to worry about it so much. Just know that when you're writing numbers down, every 3 doubles it.
Okay.
When you think about, I want to be twice as good as Jacob, you need to be 3 points higher than him.
Okay. I can wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
Like your bartending skill is 3 points higher than mine.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Oh, you guys. Okay.
And I will point out that is all thanks to Bitsy. We'll pour it out at the end for her.
All right. Creating a veteran. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? You ready to do this?
No, realistically, we're not ready because this is a trauma trip that I've only done a handful of times before. But yes, I'm as ready as I can.
Is this going to be like Whole?
Yeah. Well, no, it's a completely different experience. But there will be similarities.
Oh, I should bring up
I am
the
looking
stream.
forward to this experience. My last time doing that was really fun.
All right. Give me just a moment. I need to bring up the stream on my second thing so I can actually chat with people because we got people talking.
Ooh, fancy. You have to let us know what they say because I don't got the computer, so all I got is this phone, and I can't do both. I'm not that good at things.
We do have to schedule the Great Limes debate.
We got there kind of once, but it was pre-video recording, which...
Yeah, this has got to be with stream and
100%. 100%. The world still needs to know how wrong you are.
I stand my ground.
Okay.
I believe in the castle defense when it applies to limes.
I believe in stand your ground laws, too, when it comes to limes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. First off, I would like for both of you to take a big, strong sip or swallow or swill of your relative drinks because math is about to happen.
No, hold on. I'm going to give me the Blue Death first, and you can have the Blue Death.
This is what my life has become. I'm fighting with Xander over a battle of Mad Dog 2020.
And math. Mad Dog and math.
What has my life become? where I'm fighting against Jacob for the privilege of having more bling bling blue raspberry MD20. Oh my God, what has happened to me?
Welcome to my life, Xander. Welcome to my life.
This is great. All right. Are we ready? Are you two ready to create your veterans?
Yes.
All right.
I was born ready.
Creating a veteran is a 10-step process. During these 10 steps, you'll not only generate all the unit ratings and numbers necessary for play, you'll also create a unique personality and background for your veterans, making it easier to tell interesting stories about her. Nice choice pronoun there. I like it.
There's another her in there earlier that I saw, so that's pretty fucking progressive for an RPG from '93.
They actually, I think, seem to be exclusively using her in the character creation section here. This is kind of cool. Yep. She, her. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. All right, cool. First, step 1, character concept. Before you proceed, of course, you should take a few moments and think about the sort of character you'd like to create. What's her name and code name? What's she like? Oh, where does she come from? What does she look like? What sorts of skills and enhancements does she have? At this point, you might also think about your character's unit affiliation and the role she'll play in society. In essence, you are forming a sort of blueprint that will guide you through each of the remaining steps. Glance through the character archetypes, blah, 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 blah. Here's an idea. Okay, you two don't know jack and shit about what this game can do. Well, Jacob knows a little bit about it, but Xander doesn't. Let's come up with some ideas about who do you think these veterans are?
I mean, the big question comes down to, did we serve in the same unit or not? And I'm going to tip my hand a little bit here. I got a definite Dead Presidents vibe off this game for obvious reasons.
I am picking up what you were putting down because I love that fucking movie.
And more to the point, now you know why it seemed like kind of a weird deep dip when I was explaining the films that describe this movie. But after NPC has read more, does it not make much more sense?
No, it definitely does. And I am down to create a Dead Presidents scenario. And for our listeners out there who might never have seen the movie Dead Presidents, it is a movie that was made in almost 3 perfect acts, like very much like a theatrical play. Act 1 is this group down in Harlem, like they're graduating high school in the late 60s, early 70s. And then Act 2 is after they've all been drafted to go to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And they're fighting in the war. And it is as awful as you might imagine. And then Act 3 transforms into post-war, like the peak of the civil rights movement, as they all are just, kind of joining the Black Panthers, and then, plotting to go and rob a bank.
Yeah,
it's pretty brilliant.
People don't. It's like America as a whole has forgotten the riots and uprisings that happened in the early to mid 1970s, and that's a backdrop to Act 3 in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. The cinematography, the acting, the screenwriting, all of this is intense, and like one of the most kind of like devious, malicious characters in Vietnam ends up becoming a preacher. Yep. At a church that his father was a preacher at, and it's just like trying to forget the past of the dystopian nightmare they lived at in Vietnam.
I'm going to read part of the character creation example, as this game does, as many others do. It has an ongoing example of an extended character creation as it goes through each of the steps. Example: when he sits down to create his veteran, Mike decides he'd like to play a character who is young and carefree, almost wild. Thinking about it for a while, Mike decides on a code name, the Delinquinaut, and a few background and personality details. Mike decides that the Delinquinaut falsified his age to illegally enter the military at the age of 16. 2 years later, he was prematurely and dishonorably discharged for vandalism of AMI property. Today, the Delinquinaut is a sort of drifter who wanders from town to town, vandalizing public property and taking on the occasional odd job offered by criminal gangs and corporate raiders. Real name is Brian Burrows. His actual code name was Migrate Number 27. And Burroughs assumed the codename Delinquent after he returned to the States to keep his real identity a secret from the authorities. After all, he now works for criminal gangs and corporate raiders.
Nice.
What are y'all thinking?
So let's hammer out a couple things. Do we want to go with the stereotypical grew up in the same community, enlisted together, came out together sort of theme, or met in the service? I guess, or after the service.
I think met in the service is kind of more towards what I'm leaning right now. If that sounds okay to you, Jacob.
No, that's fine. Do
you have a character concept?
I kind of vaguely do.
I have one.
Yeah, shoot. I think yours is better fleshed out.
Okay, so what I'm thinking for my character concept is I have someone who went into the service to be trained as, a combat medic. And after having to treat so many other wounded soldiers from sniper attack, she decides that she is done with doing that and decides to take up the sniper rifle instead.
Ooh, okay.
To go and be vengeful against all those that have taken out her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so she then goes and takes on the codename of Widowmaker.
I knew you were going to say that word. I love it. Yes.
Nod to my grandfather from Veterans Day. Yeah. Love you, Grandpa Amos.
So, I am going to play a guy from the Ozarks who did the traditional path of the only way out is military service because there was no other way. Coal mines had collapsed as they had in the 80s, and is just signed up at the first one who'd give him a decent payout to help handle the family mortgage, and went in, and we'll see where his job ended up in the service as we build the character.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking too that my character was one of those kind of, plucky, optimistic, I'm going to go into the service and do good by healing people. And then when she goes and realizes just how fucked up war is, just drives her to be murderous and takes away from every bit of happiness she had back in her life and just turns it towards revenge.
Okay. I like it. Step 2, allocate funds. In step 2, you'll temporarily place yourself in the role of a personnel planner for one of the major conflict firms. Before a boosted soldier is created, these planners are given a budget by their superiors and asked to spend it in the fashion that would create the most effective soldier possible, given current battlefield needs. What you'll need to do is you might need some scratch paper if you don't have it already. What you're going to have are 4 functions or categories.
Xander, I'd recommend that the back of a piece of paper or even the background section on page 2 might be a good place.
And you have 4 categories, and you might want to write them down. They are recruiting, genetic design, genetic surgery, and reconditioning.
Sorry, I got recruiting and genetic design, then I forgot the rest.
Okay, recruiting, genetic design, genetic surgery, and reconditioning. Money spent on recruiting allows you to identify good candidates for enhancement. The more funds allocated to recruiting, the better the candidate for enhancement, and thus the higher the character's starting attributes and skills. Funds allocated to genetic design govern the genetic enhancements she will receive. The more money allocated, the more extreme her enhancements can be. The money spent on genetic surgery determines the skill rating of the genetic surgeon who installs your character's enhancements. The higher the surgeon's skill rating, the more effective the enhancements. And for the record, there is rolling that will happen during character creation. Once you have put the whole package together and spent all your money, then it's time to make a few dice rolls to determine how well the surgery went.
Oh my God.
So you can spend the money,
and then
but that
still
doesn't
get nothing.
guarantee.
Yeah.
It just improves the odd.
Okay, and finally, the funds allocated to reconditioning determine the size and scope of your character's reconditioning therapy. You have to put money into therapy, because making the therapy more expensive makes you less susceptible to metagenic feedback trauma.
That's not a good thing, Xander.
I didn't think it was, just based on the way that NPC said it and the look he gave me when he said it.
Here's how this works. You have $20 million.
$20 million.
These can be allocated in units of an increments of $100,000. That's the minimum allocation. No, sorry. That's the only allocation. You can't do $110,000. They have to be in units of $100,000. The restrictions to this are, for genetic surgery, you can only allocate either 200 million, 700 million, or 1 million. I'm sorry. 200,000, 700,000, or 1 million.
So 1 million is the highest you can do in that.
In genetic surgery.
Yep.
And then for reconditioning in the amounts of 500,000, 1 million, or 5 million.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
Reconditioning.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. Those are the restrictions. So those two categories have specific amounts that you have to put into them. Either those three amounts in each. Now, once you've allocated your funds, you can compute your beginning recruitment point and enhancement point totals. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Mike decides to allocate his budget as follows. $11,300,000 towards recruiting, $7 million towards genetic design, $700,000 towards genetic surgery, and $1 million towards reconditioning.
What are the steps for surgery again?
200, 700, or 1 mil.
And the highest for genetic surgery again was 1 mil?
That was surgery, yes, 1 mil. You could do 200,000, 700,000, or 1 million.
Inflation's a bitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so the two big ones would be recruiting and genetic design. Those are the ones where you kind of go buck wild. And again, recruiting gives you attributes and skills, and genetic design gives you powers.
What is the ceiling on reconditioning? 5?
5 mil, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I think I'm done.
What do you got, Xander?
I got 6 million on recruiting, 8 on genetic design, 1 million on genetic surgery, and 5 million on reconditioning.
You want her to probably be sane, huh?
Yeah, kind
Or
of.
close enough.
As close as I can be
As
from
you
all
can
that
be to an
PTSD.
ex-veteran who believes she's a superhero.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Xander, again, what did you have for recruitment?
6 million.
You have, okay, that gives you, for recruitment, 60 recruitment points. And what did you get for enhancement? Or I'm sorry, what did you put for design?
8 million.
What is the middle of what are the steps for reconditioning again? I'm missing the middle one.
1 mil. 500, 1 mil, or 5 mil.
That's right.
Okay, and that gives you, I'm sorry, what did you say it was? For genetic design?
8 million.
That gives you 80 enhancement points. So 60 recruitment, 80 enhancement.
I'm done.
Okay, Jacob, what's your breakdown?
Recruiting 10, gen design 8, gen surgery 1 million, reconditioning 1 million.
Okay. What did you say you had for recruitment?
Recruitment is 10 million.
Okay, then you have 100 recruitment points. And what did you put for enhance? I'm sorry, for genetic design?
8.
Then you have 80 enhancement points.
Awesome.
What did you put for surgery?
1 million.
Okay, so you did 1 mil in both of the side projects, essentially? Okay,
Yep.
Got it.
I like how we have 2 of the same exact stats. That's funny.
Now, recruiting and creating a personality. The third step is perhaps the most important in the entire character creation process. It's now time to create your character's personality, even more than your attribute and ability ratings. Your personality will serve to define your character and the stories you create. After all, attributes and abilities are used only to help the game master determine the outcome of some of the special actions you attempt. Your personality, on the other hand, helps you decide what actions to perform in the first place. Personalities consist of traits and codes, either of which can be rated as limiting and non-limiting. Okay, this part I had to reread this part a few
It's rough.
times because I found it confusing. Okay, here's how this works. You get traits and codes. A trait is a basic aspect of your outlook on life, such as curious or curious about your best friend's past. You can be general or specific. Other traits decide how you are likely to act in a situation. They don't guarantee it. Next is a code. It's a rule or principle that your character lives by. Examples include won't kill, won't allow herself to undergo feedback trauma, always avenges an injustice in kind. They are a stronger influence on your behavior than traits, and they are rarely broken. Okay, so codes and traits have the potential to be non-limiting, which is a general thing, like not limiting or limiting. And I don't get the examples that they put in here. They don't make sense to me, but I will give you them anyway. But think about a limiting trait or a code as something that has more of a chance of holding you back and working against you. It says curious is a good example of a limiting trait, while won't kill is an example of a limiting code. Where then it says curious about your best friend's past is a non-limiting trait, and won't allow yourself to undergo feedback trauma is a non-limiting code. It's vague. It's real vague.
That seems pretty open.
Generally, my thought on that is the more specificity, the level of specificity is
the less limiting.
Less limiting.
Yeah. So here's an example. Wait. No, we're not even quite to the examples yet. There's like 4 pages of this shit. So here's how this works. You must select between 2 and 5 traits, and you may select up to 2 codes. Minimum of 2 traits, maximum of 5, maximum of 2 codes. They can't possibly describe every aspect. Instead, they only serve to define those aspects that best define your being. Yes, some word salad is happening on this page here. By taking traits and codes, you get more recruitment points. Okay. For every limiting trait that you get 5 recruitment points. If it's a non-limiting trait, which means a more specific one, you only get 3 recruitment points. Codes, if it's limiting, it gets you 10 recruitment points. If it's non-limiting, it only gets you 5. Examples that are given here: limiting codes, won't kill, never throws the first punch, never backs down from a challenge, always repays an injustice in kind. Limiting traits: curious, picks fights, fights only when pushed, won't risk undergoing feedback trauma, addicted to cocaine, kleptomaniac. Whereas non-limiting traits are things like never misses an episode of Aeon Flux. There's Aeon Flux references all throughout here.
Oh my God.
Wants to find an old friend, strong sense of humor, wants to remarry ex-wife, wants to be a rock star. The examples given for the character that is being created by Mike with the delinquinaut traits: loves to vandalize government property, limiting, won't back down from a fight, limiting, loves to quote systemic overthrow lyrics, non-limiting. Code: always avenges injustices in kind, limiting. Again, math. These are essentially traits and flaws. If you've played Shadowrun or any World of Darkness game, you're trying to min-max the stats here.
I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember how you used them against us horribly.
Let me know when you're ready. Oh, and here we go. The very next page is a veteran committing suicide.
Yep. They pull 0 goddamn punches in this game.
Zero punches in this game.
I owned this book for a while, and I played maybe 1 or 2 games, and I mean literally like 1 or 2 sessions of this game. And just the math just breaks you so hard.
I bought this book for $6.
Yep.
In Fort Collins, Colorado, at the Haunted Game Cafe.
All right, I'm done.
Yep. What you got, Xander?
All right, for traits, I wrote down always buys the first round. I have never backs down from a challenge. Always lends an ear. Needs to prove herself. And one of the boys.
Okay.
And your codes, if any?
Will not kill children. Will never leave a man behind.
Okay. And those are going to give you extra points. Did you write those points down?
I was writing these down.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Oh. Okay. Ooh, real quick, I'll tell you what those are going to give. So read them to me from the top.
Traits.
Yeah.
Always buys the first round.
That will be 3 points.
Never backs down from a challenge.
5 points.
Always lends an ear.
3 points.
Needs to prove herself.
5 points.
One of the boys.
3 points.
And for codes, will not kill children.
3 points. I'm sorry, 5 points.
Will never leave a man behind.
10 points. Those are extra recruitment points that you get. What you got, Jacob?
Gotcha.
For traits,
Yeah.
I have stubborn,
3 points.
addicted to opioids,
5 points.
Poor bastard.
wants to be an amazing mandolin player,
3 points.
never misses an episode of Hee Haw, The Next Generation.
3 points.
For codes, I
Yeah.
have kin, no matter what. So blood is thicker than water. You know, it doesn't matter what your family did; they're your family, etc., etc.
10 points.
And then always there for your neighbors.
5 points.
This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
The more I'm hearing these characters, the more I'm like, Okay, step 4, time to purchase your attribute points. You're going to use recruitment points. All right. The attributes are strength, dexterity, speed, res, whatever it means, int, whatever that means, willpower, and aura. I'm guessing that's
like
resilience
or
and intelligence.
Resolution, intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. And aura?
Yeah.
Because I can see your aura and it's ugly.
Okay, so here's how this works.
Quit looking at my aura like that.
Check this out. Here's how this works. Whew. All of them start at 0 for free. And these cost recruitment points to spend. Now, you have to save some of those recruitment points for skills, for the record.
No shit. Okay.
Okay. Anything that you want to start, for example, at double human basics, which is a stat of 3, will cost you 10 points. Or here's what I'll do. This will make it simpler. Just write down these cost conversions.
Got it.
We're talking cost conversions here. And you can have a score from 0 to 6, right? 0 cost 0. A score of 1 cost 3. And then 6. And then 10. Then 14. Then 19. And then 24. Got it?
Got it. Okay, time
So
to
a stat
do
of
some
6
So-
costs
so
24.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
6 equals 24. That was
And
my
3
question.
equals 10, 5 equals 19, and so on.
Other question. What are the cost of skills? Just so I
something
can
you
know
should
to kind of go in.
Yeah. Each skill that you purchase costs 5 recruitment points. And when you purchase a skill, you receive a rating in that skill equal to your rating in the attribute. You can then increase the skill by more. You cannot purchase your unit rating in a skill higher than 6 points beyond your attribute. So, for example, if you have an attribute of 0, but you want a skill related to it, you can purchase that up to 6.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I also am understanding now what you mean by the fuckity math.
Fuckity math.
Fuckity math.
And here's what you should know. Check this
Okay.
out. For skills, go ahead and write these costs down because this is what you're going to want to know. Skill base acquisition costs 5 points. Whenever you buy it, it equals whatever your stat is associated with it. Skills, you can buy up to 6 points higher. And at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the relative costs for a skill are 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 12.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So think of it this way. You can buy any stat up to 6, and you can buy any skill up to 6.
Folks, do you want to know how cruel NPC is? He's having us build characters for this game and did not supply calculators. And since both of us are using our cell phones as cameras,
That's what I was going to go next with that. I was like, but our phones are fucking used to do the Zoom chat right now.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
I didn't pre-plan this, but I like it.
I could, just put this app in the background. It'll still display the video.
yeah, but
Actually, you know what we could do? We could take a short break. Let's take a short break.
Because it's going to be a lot of number crunching. That's going to be very fucking boring.
That's not fucking fun. We're going to take a short break. Y'all do your math. And when we come back, we're going to have some fucking heroes, right? Yeah? All right. See you in a bit. Okay. We are back. And I just had an idea that I'm kicking myself for not having done before, which is putting on a music loop on our hold screen. I should have done that. I should have done that. And Skip made us the instrumental versions of our songs.
Oh, yeah.
I've never done anything with it, so I should do that. I should make that. That should be a thing that happens.
100%.
So, note to self NPC: when you are editing this later and listening, while you edit, because that's what you do, write that shit down. Because I ain't writing it down right now. Thanks. You're a champ. Okay, let's get to these characters and their stats and numbers. What do you got, Jacob? I'm going to start with you this time.
Sure. I got a strength of 3, a dex of 3, a speed of 2, a res of 3, an intelligence of 0, a will of 6, and an aura of 4.
Why did you go with will? What's your impetus for that?
He's stubborn as hell. He gets by force of personality over smarts. He is just, he just puts his head down and gets through stuff.
Okay. With a will of 6, you basically have a base 6 for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put any points into leadership?
Nope.
Okay. What are your skills?
I am still working out the math on that. Currently dodge, acrobatics, charm, gun combat, invention, repair, military science, and weaponry.
Okay. So I didn't see a skill list, so I didn't write down anything for skills.
That's right. For some reason, my brain, I'm sorry, but you saved points for them, right?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I just didn't know what they were, so I didn't write anything down.
God, I'm sorry. I for some reason in my brain, I thought the skills would have been written on the character sheet because there are so few of them.
Yeah.
It really sucks that we don't have PDFs of this. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and speak the skills. No, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. What'd you pick for your stats, Xander?
I took a strength of 1, a dex of 5, speed of 2, res of 1, intelligence of 5, will of 1, aura of 2.
Okay. All right, then. Let me read to you the skills because they don't tell you during the character creation. You have to skip ahead for it because remember, folks, this is the 90s. Here's what they are. Acrobatics. Administration. You know what? I'm going to tell you what they are. Here's the idea. If you hear one that you like, write it down.
Got it.
And I'm also going to write down the attribute that it's connected to. Acrobatics, dex. Administration, aura. Artist, aura. Business, int. Charm, aura. Computer science, int. Detective, int. Genetic engineering, int. Gun combat, dex. Intimidation and interrogation, aura. Invention and repair, int. Languages, int, leadership, will, martial arts, speed, medicine, int, military science, int, psychology, int, science, int, social science, int, streetwise, will, thief, dex, vehicles, dex, and weaponry, dextradivity. Weaponry is fighting with a bladed weapon, knife or sword. Oh, wait, no. Weaponry is melee weapons. You can also take specialties. That's right. This is the 90s.
Don't worry about it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
I don't even remember. Yeah. Oh, this is very simple. By limiting yourself to a single specialty of the skill, you simply increase it by +2.
So I misread the skills, and I mentioned a skill I don't have, so I'm actually backing leadership in the slot. So I will be picking up some leadership.
How many points in leadership?
I'm working that out at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. More fucking math. Give me a second.
Yeah, well, here's the deal, Xander. You said she was trained as a sniper?
Originally a combat medic who then went and was so tired of being at the receiving end of sniper fire towards her comrades that she then became a sniper, but still has medic combat training.
May I make some suggestions? Military science, gun combat, and medicine.
I have all three of those already written down.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wrote down charm, gun combat, invention and repair, languages, medicine, military science, and vehicles. Because that seemed like all the things that she would probably need.
Okay, now here's a note for military science. Military science, we could use this as an example of how specialization works. In that, with military science, there are 3 specializations: demolitions, tactics, and tracking. If you want to just be good at only one of those, but really good at it, it will simply cost you 2 levels less. So that means you can get rank 6 in it, in that one thing, for the cost of rank 4.
As opposed to having the general skill of military science, in which case I can have all 3 of those skills,
Correct.
but they're not as good.
Yeah. And the same rule applies to any of the skills. Any of the skills you can choose to take instead of the general skill, you can take just one of the specialties.
Thanks for mentioning that. I'm going to take tracking.
There you go. So whatever you have it at, if you only took it at 4, congratulations, it's now a 6. Or if you want, you can reduce the cost of whatever you took and put points into something else. Note to self, point buy games, not the most entertaining to do on a microphone. Have to remember this. That means we're not probably ever going to do Shadowrun unless I can find... I don't know. Unless we get like crazy popular and people just want to listen to us scribble and mumble and curse.
There's going to have to be a Patreon target on that for me before I build a character in Shadowrun.
Yeah. I could do something like Fading Suns, and only because Fading Suns has a life path system where you don't have to spend any points. It does it for you.
Also, it's a good game.
It's a good fucking game. Yeah.
Okay, so again, if I'm remembering correctly from what you said earlier, just get 1 point in something. It costs 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 4, 4 is 6, 5 is 9, and 6 is 12.
Correct.
Okay, let's see how many points I got left. And am I writing that down in government attribute or rating?
I'm sorry, they're words. What?
Where am I writing the skill point down? There's like government attribute.
Pass me the sheet.
Okay. All of the maths.
Skill. So the government. Government.
Is that not government attribute? I thought we were creating.
The government attribute.
Government attribute
is whatever it's linked to. So you already wrote that down in parentheses. What you would just do is write down the rating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So rating 0 through, it would be 0 if you just bought it at 5 points. So remember, it costs 5 points to buy the skill.
Oh, 5 points by skill at 0?
Yep.
Fuck me. Okay, I'm not going to get all these then. All right.
5 points to buy the skill, and then additional points to increase the skill.
Okay. Shit.
Math, folks.
Shit.
God, the 90s loved math. I long for the simplicity of a Palladium character.
Guess I'm losing a few of these skills.
Well, or you could just lower them a bit. Like, you know.
No, I only have 25 points left based on all the points I put into my stats. So I can get 5 skills at 0 plus whatever the bonus would be from the stats,
Or you could
or
lower some of your stats.
Never.
Well, then just pick, like, if she was like trained to be just medic and just sniper, then just get those 2 skills. Or check this out, though. You can take, here's how we can min-max this, Xander. We could min-max this, all right? Without lowering anything, here's what you can do. Let's talk about medicine. Medicine has 3 specialties: first aid, medical treatment, and surgery.
Oh, yeah. So I can just go with first aid.
Stops bleeding and gives other forms of emergency assistance.
Okay. And not surgery. What was the other one?
Medical treatment allows the character to diagnose and treat serious illnesses and injuries.
Nope. First aid, for sure.
First aid it is. Well, here's what you can do. If you choose to take medicine with a specialty in first aid for 5 points, you get the skill and have it at rank 2. And guns. Guns. Okay, gun combat has 3 specialties: heavy weapons, pistols, and rifles. Rifles/submachine guns.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the rifles.
There you go.
For sure.
If you just spend 5 points, you have the skill and you have it at rank 2. And if you want, you can pay a higher rank. For example, you can buy rank 4 and it will be rank 6 because specializations work that way. Specializations are how you create high stat characters who are one-trick ponies.
I got a couple more tricks than that.
Oh, math. So much math. So much of this is going to get trimmed when we release this as an episode.
Yeah. So 5 points if it's a specialty gets me fucking the skill and a rank 2 in it.
5 points will get you guns at rank 0, or it will get you rifles at rank 2.
Rating 2.
Yeah.
That's 10, and that's 15.
And what's your dex?
5.
Just so then that gets added to your dex for the total score when we play the game. So you would have a total of 7 when using a rifle.
Nice. What are are there any specialties for vehicles?
Vehicles, air and space, land, and water.
Okay.
Maybe she can only pilot a helicopter, but can't ride a scooter or a car.
Yeah, I just fall over. What is this 2-wheel bullshit?
But if you need someone to ride a helicopter or a space shuttle, that's me.
Yeah. So what do you know how to fly? You know, Columbia, fucking Hilo. I don't know. How are you at with an SUV? Oh, horrible.
Yeah, nope. I hope it has autopilot. Is it one of those fancy cars that we have now in 2021? It's got a backup cam, right?
Oh, my God.
What are you thinking over there, Jacob? I see you've done a lot of erasing. I'm guessing you also forgot about the minimum cost of 5, too.
Yeah, I did, but I figured it out.
Okay.
So I'm adding 2 to leadership, 3 to acrobatics, 2 to charm, 2 to gun combat, 3 to invention repair, 2 to military science, and 3 to weaponry.
That's a lot of skills. So you paid for the cost of the skill in addition to the 5 points required for rank 0?
Dude, I rolled out of recruitment after...
Oh, yeah, you had a shitload of points.
Yeah.
That's right. Never mind. Yeah. Because some people decided they wanted to be sane.
I chose middle of the road.
My bad.
So rating is your underlying attribute plus the points you add to it, correct?
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, so if I took a specialty, fucking math. So if I took a specialty and I put 1 point into it, it actually gives me 2. And if I want to put 3 points into it, is that?
Oh, no. So if you take the specialty, cost 5 experience point or 5, whatever
is base, and then 1,
and it automatically starts at skill rank 2.
Okay. If I want to put another point into that, then
if you spent 1 point, it would be at rank 3.
Okay.
If you spent 4 points, it would be at rank 5. If you spent a total of 6 points, it would be at rank 6.
Okay, so I got 5 more points to spend. I got to figure out this fucking math.
So
how many skills did you buy?
I bought 4,
which
skills. Cost me 20.
Okay, here's what you can do then. Put one of them at rank 4. So pick one of these 0 rank skills to be 4 points. They're all specialties, right?
Everyone but no, I'm taking land vehicles.
Never mind. Go. Oh, you're not taking helicopters.
No. Helicopter sounds fun.
There you go. Air/space.
Air/space.
There you go. Because who knows how to fly a space shuttle?
Actually.
Okay, so if they are all specializations, and you have 4 specializations, here's how this works.
Yes.
You're going, I keep saying that. I've noticed I've said, here's how this works like 20 times. And I'm going to keep saying it. Here's how this works, Xander. You're going to spend 2 points to make one of those a +4 skill.
Okay.
Each of the others, you're going to spend 1 point.
Make them all 3s.
And make it all +3 skill.
Fuck yeah.
And there you go. Math done.
Mine's a bit more complicated, but I got it sorted out.
You got it sorted out. What's your best fucking thing? Stat plus skill.
It's a tie between leadership and charm.
All right, that's what you are. What's your what? Okay, sorry. Leadership and charm is the best thing you're at. What would you say is the stuff that you is in your second tier of specialty?
Acrobatics and weaponry with 6 and gun combat at 5.
Okay. So acrobatics, gun combat, weaponry. All right, cool. Yeah. Ninja. All right. So you're a primary talker, a secondary ninja. What's your tertiary role?
Invention, repair, and military science.
Got it. Okay. What about you? What's your highest when it comes to stat plus skill combo?
Okay, so that's the rating plus skill. Okay, yeah. That would be rifles at 9.
Nice.
9, yeah.
Okay, and what would you say would be your second tier of abilities?
They're all a fucking 3-way tie after that because of the putting 3 points and everything else.
Okay.
Which would be a first aid at 8, tracking at 8, and air and space at 8.
Okay, you are an interesting specialist that people call on for very specific jobs.
You need someone to fly a spaceship that can also snipe while giving people medical attention and also find them if they go missing. I got you, boo.
No, I love it. This is what this game does. Next, we're going to choose your enhancements. Now, each of you has your enhancement points written down.
What?
Yes.
What?
Enhancement points.
Where does that come from?
It's from genetic design.
Oh, shit. Then yes, I do.
Okay. There we go. Choose the genetic enhancements you'd like your character to receive. A complete list of them are in Chapter 7. Anyway, to select an enhancement, you must purchase it using enhancement points. Each enhancement has a base cost and a potency ranging from 1 to 3. To purchase an enhancement, compare its what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? The fuck? What?
Hold on. Jacob and I are going to keep drinking Mad Dog while you figure out the math for us. So
No, see if you can decipher this, okay? I'm just going to read this aloud and tell me if this makes sense to you.
Okay.
To purchase an enhancement, compare its potency with your desired unit rating on the enhancement selection table found on page 114. Add this result to the base cost to arrive at a total cost. In other words, it costs 25 enhancement points to purchase 12 units of a potency 2 enhancement. What the fuck? With a base cost of 5.
I don't know what you just said, but I hated it.
We're going to get through this. Okay. I gave up on first edition D&D. I gave up on that because I couldn't do it. But in this, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I need more wine.
Oh my, that was one of the most convoluted sentences I have ever heard in my entire life. And I went and for, 3 or 4 days endured the GOP convention on several bottles of whiskey.
Xander, don't worry about it. I mean, despite the way it's written, it's even worse than he's describing.
What is that supposed to make me feel better? Because it doesn't.
Embrace the suck.
Obviously, I'm still drinking MD 2020.
Well, just remember, there's the Orange Jubilee when we kill this bottle.
Okay.
I remember.
Got it. I think I got it. It just requires table referencing.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's how this works. Okay.
So here's the thing.
So what had happened was we've got enhancements come, and essentially they say 3 potencies, but there's 5 potencies because ultimately.
I'm sorry. What?
Okay. Think of it. Did you ever play Vampire?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how everything essentially had a rating of 1 to 5?
Yes.
Got it. This is the same.
Okay.
It calls it 1 to 3 with a plus and a minus, but it's 1 to 5 because. Okay, here's the logic it pulls. It says that potency, you can buy something at rank, whatever, call it rating 1, 2, or 3. They call it potency, but essentially rating 1, 2, or 3. But you can also get something in a diminished or an enhanced state, which raises it or lowers it by 1 value. So if you lower a value below 1, it doesn't become 0, it becomes 1 minus 1. And if you raise a value above 3, it becomes 4. Because math doesn't quite work this way. Yep. Ultimately, what they should have said is rating 1 through 5, because there are 5 ratings. Got it? Good.
It doesn't even say potency on the goddamn character sheet.
So right now we're purchasing enhancements. Instead of going through the massive list of enhancements, I'm just going to start reading off things that I think apply to your characters. We'll go back to Xander. Xander, nope, we did Xander first with the skills. We're going back to Jacob here. Jacob, what makes you awesome? Above and beyond, like how did the government fuck you up to make you kill the brown people?
Let's see.
For money.
Well, let's see.
And for the record, I do not condone the wanton killing of people of any color at all, especially not brown. This is simply a statement on the satire that is this game. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
And if you haven't figured that out by now,
these are tough times. I don't want to
being cognizant.
Tough. Tough. I'm really tough.
Really tough.
What's your resilience?
3.
But you want that to be better.
But I want that to be better.
Gotcha.
They wanted to make him as tough as he was stubborn.
Okay, tough. Anything else?
God, I haven't played this game forever on the powers list.
I'm not even looking at the powers. I haven't even opened the powers yet. Here's what I want you to do. Give me an ideal. Does this guy have laser eyeballs? Does he have like claws that shoot out of his dick? Well, what's happening?
I like I like being tough. I
thought you were about to say I like being touched.
I like being touched too. But only with consent. So I like being tough. I would add in, let's see, some sort of energy blast. Or no, how about tough, breathes water, and camouflage?
Tough, breathes water, camouflage.
Yep.
What about you, Xander?
Is it possible to get some kind of cybernetic eyeballs that go and help with both sniping and or first aid?
Eyeballs? Possibly. What else are you thinking? We got eyeballs. Okay.
I'm thinking, again, kind of like Jacob, the ability to have some kind of camouflage thing going on. So, either while I am sniping and or providing first aid, I am harder to find and see.
Okay. Get a third.
Yeah, I think the other one I was thinking of is some kind of ability, if possible, in the game mechanics to go and enable my character to give kind of a calming, soothing voice to folks. So if they're in a panic situation, they will just calm the fuck down and just listen to the cadence and the rhythm of my voice right now.
Okay, got it. Here's some things then for you all to write down. Both of you mentioned camouflage. There's a couple of options that I'm seeing that relate to camouflage. One is chameleon. Another one is invisibility. Invisibility costs more. What was the last one you said, Xander? Voice.
Yeah, some kind of voice thing that kind of gives calm to people.
Write down gills, Jacob.
I would like to breathe in the water, please.
Write down microvision, Xander.
Here, I need some popcorn popped.
All right.
What am I missing?
Tough
and
voice. I would the voice, and I also want to know what the three different types of between invisibility, chameleon, what the other one was.
Oh, here's another one. Another one that you might be interested in as well, Xander, is telescopic vision. There's microscopic and telescopic. Microscopic for zooming close in, telescopic for zooming far away.
Okay.
Also, swimming might be of interest to you.
Why? Because they can't go and handle a fucking boat?
No, he wanted gills. So I figured also swimming might be.
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
I don't see mind. Well, wait. No, maybe I thought about it differently. Okay, so other ones to write down that might be of interest to you, Jacob. Reduced fatigue, regeneration.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't need to look further. Regeneration it is.
Okay. Something that might be of interest to you, Xander, is life sense.
What does that do?
Shoot through barn walls at the living thing on the other side.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like it's like wall hacking.
No, it's not.
Oh, I was very excited.
No. Here's what it does. Okay, I misread. Allows you to automatically detect the presence and exact locations of all animal life forms within an equal range to your unit rating. Life forms can be detected through the use of ability, even through walls and other obstacles. Though only the presence of life is detected, not the type of life form or specific beings present. That said, if you wall hack and you see a single person hiding in the top of that barn on the other side of that wall, you're like, okay, I know where the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you go over the different types of camouflage stealth things that you were mentioning? There was like chameleon, invisibility, the difference between the two, why one costs more than the other, etc.
Well, invisibility is fucking invisible, man. You just fucking can't see. And it's connected to sociopathy, by the way. Sociopathy. So is empathy. So oh my God. Each of these powers has a connected psychosis.
Yes, that's what reconditioning is about. Yes.
What?
So
yes.
the voice thing is what you were talking. That is control.
Control is the voice thing? Okay.
Yeah.
And what is chameleon?
Oh my fucking God. These are crazy. Chameleon is allows you to alter skin pigmentation in the same manner as a chameleon, affording a natural protective camouflage. It is essentially the camouflage ability.
Okay, and then that's the person's skin or the actual like clothes they're wearing?
Your skin.
So it only works if I'm naked?
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, that doesn't seem great if you have to be in fucking uniform or like have any kind of armor on.
Let's just put it this way. Just Jacob is playing the Ozark regenerating nudist.
Sweet mother of God. Okay, it looks like invisibility then.
All right, so each of these powers is going to have a base cost, which means you simply have to pay this amount to buy it. Then there's a potency, which increases the cost depending upon how high you want to get it. Maximum, it has a stress level. What that is measures is the impact upon your psyche. And a psychosis, because of their sensitive and strategic locations, the DNA helix enhancements leave their recipient susceptible to various psychoses. Xander. Alphabetically.
Yeah, buddy.
What is the first one?
Control.
Control. Not chameleon? You're going with invisibility.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a bad idea to run around naked in a
Control
combat
or
zone.
emotion control?
Is there emotion control?
Yep.
I missed it. Emotion control is what you want. It's yeah, you want emotion control. That's, I think, what you want. Because the way you described it, control is like I'm in their brain moving them around. Emotion control is you give them suggestions and guide them in a certain direction.
That is definitely what I more want.
Okay, anyway, we're going to go to...
Thanks, Jacob.
Good job. Chameleon. Chameleon costs a base of 10 points.
Not getting chameleon.
Oh, wait, no, derp. Sorry. What was the other one?
If we're going alphabetically, we're going with emotional control
Motion
first.
control costs 10 points to get it. Has a potency of 3.
Where did I write down potency? Is that ratings?
No, because...
Jesus Christ.
So a base cost and a potency. To purchase an enhancement, compare its potency and add this to the base cost. Oh, right. Fucking tables of the 90s. Potency of 3. All right. When you buy a power, you buy it at rank 0, and then you have to buy up the ranks above it. Okay.
So 10 gives you rank 0, but you have the enhancement.
And it doesn't in any way connect to your stats. You have to buy it completely from 0. This one can go up to rank 18.
Okay.
This is what we're going to do. I want you to write this down, Xander. Base cost 10, potency 3, max 18 for emotion control.
Okay.
And we lost you on the Zoom.
Hold on. All right. We're back.
We have no viewers right now, too. So this is wonderful.
Okay. So I'm sorry. 10
fucking game.
10 to get the skill at 0. The maximum potency is 3, and that cost me 18 total?
No. So
fuck.
Think of it this way. Potency is a gauge of how much it will cost you to raise. It can be from 1 to 3. Potency 1, not so difficult to raise it. Potency 3, a lot more difficult to raise it.
Gotcha.
Maximum rank of 18. 18's a lot.
And rank is not potency. Got it.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Just for example, how much things will cost with emotion control. If you wanted to get emotion control, you didn't have the power right now. You just wanted emotion control. And let's say you wanted it at rank 10. It would cost you the 10 to purchase it plus 20 points. A total of 30 of your points, enhancement points, to have emotion control at rank 10.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So what you want to look at when you start writing these powers down is the base cost and the potency. Because the potency will limit how much you can afford.
Yep.
What's the next one?
Oh my God. So here's the thing. On the character sheet, it says neither potency or base points on the character sheet.
Because those only matter for character creation. It's assumed that you're going to have scratch paper for that kind of stuff. This is the 90s, Xander. Get with the times, bro. What's up?
Oh my God. Okay.
Because this is rad, dude.
Tubular.
And it's got attitude.
Next one is invisibility. And I'm regretting everything.
Invisibility is the same. Cost 10, potency 3, and its maximum is 10.
The next two are microvision and telescopic vision.
I would pick one. You want to zoom in real close to something in front of you, like microscopically, you're going to zoom far away and see something.
I kind of want both.
Okay, microvision. Base cost 5, potency 1, max rank of 30. So it's pretty fucking cheap.
That was a lot of fucking words you just said. So
microvision, base cost of 5, potency of 1, and maximum
30. Got
30.
it. That doesn't make sense, but let's keep going to telescopic vision.
Welcome to the 90s, my friend. Telescopic vision, base cost 5, potency 1, max rating of 9.
What the fuck does that even mean? Okay. Mr. Game Master, I have fucking 80 points.
80 points.
And just go and do this shit for me and tell me what I have to write down where.
I can do this. I promise. What do you want more than anything else of that list?
I think for both things that in which I am trying to be good at, which is snipering and medic-ing, would probably be invisibility first. Telescopic vision second.
Okay. I got it right here. Invisibility. How many points do you have total?
I have 80 total to spend between these four.
Okay, if you get invisibility at its max, at rank 1, at its max at character creation, you can write invisibility 10, and it will cost you 30 of those points to get it. But you are the best fucking invisible person. No one will fucking see you.
Okay.
It's essentially writing, you can't see me now on your character sheet.
Yeah, we'll start with that. That sounds good. So under stress, under rating, under bond limb.
Here, all you got to do for invisibility is just remember it just makes you a little bit more of a sociopath.
Well, I get that, but like, what am I writing down in these other fucking?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, cool. So just like, so what like?
You think I know this game, Xander?
So for when I'm writing down for like how fucking invisible I am, like, do I just write like the fucking best? Is that?
Just write invisibility 10. Just write invisibility. You have it at rank 10.
Okay, even though there's nothing. Is that under rating? Is it rating 10?
Yeah. Rating 10.
Thank God. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. I have 50 more fucking points. Let's fucking do this.
Okay, now we're going to do telescopic vision.
Yes, we are.
It can go up to rating 9 at 5 and 1. Okay, this is going to be cheap. Telescopic vision will cost you 15 points at the maximum rating of 9.
Okay, so now I'm at 45. So much. That sounds good. Because here's the thing. Then I can go and use fucking iron sights instead of a scope, which makes it even harder to find. I like this. Okay, let's go. Let's keep her moving.
Let me tell you what it does here. Characters with a telescopic vision can add their unit ratings to the distance over which they can. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, right. Just so you know how this breaks down. Because I must reference the unit table. Your telescopic vision is what, rank 9, you say?
It sure fucking is.
I don't understand this rule, Xander. I don't understand it. I don't. Wait.
Is it more word salad?
Oh. Okay. Here we go. Normal characters can see approximately 1 mile, which is 28 units. Okay. Here we go. 28 units. Plus 9. What? Oh. Okay. So 28, you can see about 10 miles. As if it was right in front of you.
Okay. I don't hate that at all.
There you go.
I love that, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
How many points you got left?
Spent 45, so I have 35 left. I would like the other one to go into emotional control for the most, and then I'll put the rest into microvision.
Emotional control, you say?
Aye.
There are also specialization options. We're not going to. No, we're not. No. We're not. We're just not. Remember I mentioned that it actually went 5 ranks and not 3? No, we're not going to do that.
Okay, yeah, fuck it.
No, I don't want to do the math. Emotional control. It's going to cost you 10 points to get it, and it's a potency of 3. Okay, how many points did you say you had left?
35.
Oh, and emotional control has a maximum of 18. Oh, and the last one, you want a microscopic vision as well?
Yes.
So 5 and 1. I can do this. I can do this math. I can do this. 10, 25.
Someone fucking can.
Got it. Here's how this works.
Okay.
Here's how this works, Xander.
Jesus Christ.
First, I'm going to have you roll on the chart to determine which subchart we go to on your trip To the human-occupied landfill. No, okay.
No. You're a bad man, and you're the friend of a bad man.
Okay.
Am I rolling dice or no?
No.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're with 35 points. You're going to have a motion control at rank 8, a rating 8. And you're going to have microscopic vision at rating 4. And that spends all your points.
I accept.
Because they're nice, simple units of 5 that I can work with.
I am down with that.
There we go. Okay, so now that we know what Xander has, Jacob has clearly been doing math while we've been talking. Jacob, what do you have?
Regeneration at 3, chameleon at 7, swimming at 12, and gills at 12 for purposes of potency buy.
Fucking Aquaman.
I
Charming ass Aquaman.
I realized after everything was said and done, I built the mutant version of a Navy SEAL.
Okay. Well, you got air covered and you got water covered. If only you knew somebody who could drive a car. If only I had made a third character. But you know what? I'm actually really glad that I'm not suffering on that level with you.
Oh my God.
I'm suffering on an entirely different level.
Oh my God.
Which is page reference.
Again,
the 12th level of hell.
I love Poppy. I'm so glad she's not here right now. I would just see her turning over the table and throwing things at us at this point.
Oh, my friends, that was only step 6.
Oh,
we
you
still
said
got
there was
4
10
more steps.
Oh my God.
Oh,
okay.
Now we have to roll for your surgery. Now it's time to install the enhancement you purchased.
This is where all the work you just did may go right out the goddamn window.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Installing each of the enhancements is conducted as a standard challenge using the rules found in Chapter 3. The skill rating of the genetic surgeon conducting the installation depends upon the amount of money you allocated to surgery.
Wait,
you guys both allocated $1 million, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the most we could do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God I did that. I had no idea what I was doing.
So now
no
we need
promises.
to look up how the dice work.
All right, here we go.
Here's the fun fact. Here's the fun fact. The game doesn't actually tell you how many dice you need to roll or what size of dice you need to roll. No, I need to find that. I need to find that. Just a moment. Xander, get us some background music.
More?
Keep going.
Okay. How come Jacob just go fuck around over here and I have to do all the background music?
Okay, Jacob, it's your turn.
Not. You ask the person with no sense of rhythm and no ability to sing.
I was thinking the same thing as soon as you said that, Xander. I wasn't going to say it, so I'm glad he said it himself.
I can't carry a note. I can't carry a note. No notes for me. I can't hear a key. I'm almost as tone deaf as Grant.
Okay, that was terrible. Never let Jacob do that again.
I'm just going to point out that Brandon wants to hear me sing.
Does he?
Yeah, he's on record as saying that he wants to hear me sing.
Well, then, by all accounts, my friend.
I wish we had people in our chat room so I could know exactly how dice work in this fucking game. You know what was funny is that when 2 weeks ago, when I was preparing for our session to do this, before I drank the Mad Dog, I looked it up and I made a note in my brain of, oh, this game uses this. But that was before Mad Dog. Now, 2 weeks later, with some Mad Dog that happened in between that, I don't actually know. It doesn't say on the back of the book. It doesn't say on the front of the book.
Xander.
Doesn't say what dice you use.
He's reaching for the loud hammer.
The loud hammer.
Ejection seat.
No, I'm just trying to find what the fucking dice do in this game. Dear listener, I'm sorry if you already know this answer because you've probably read this book from cover to cover and you remember there's probably one spot somewhere on one page where the word dice is mentioned because I'm not actually seeing it mentioned anywhere in this fucking book. It simply says test, make a test, make a test. What the fuck is a test or a challenge? Dear God.
But I brought so many dice.
Right? I know. There's challenges.
That's the sound of my dice.
It keeps saying that these tests, there's these challenges where you succeed or fail. Oh, here we go. I highlighted it. There's one page of this entire book, which mentions the fucking dice. That is on page 64. Here's how this works. To resolve a pass-fail challenge, the player controlling the character performing the action, that's very specific.
Oh, it's so many words.
Rolls 2d10 and adds the results together.
Hey, brother, can you spare a couple D10?
I got you, Bo.
If the results doubled, which is, boxcars or whatever, same results on each die, you roll again and add it in. And you can do this infinitely. Next, the game master repeats the same process. If the player's total is greater than the game master's total, then the player succeeds. Otherwise, the player fails.
How many D10s do we need?
2.
2? Oh, that's not bad.
But then there's a challenge chart. Now I have to figure out, the difference between what you rolled and what I rolled. I got it. Yep. You guys, I got this. It's based on an elementary school grading. A, B, C, D, and of course F, which isn't actually mentioned on the chart, but referenced elsewhere in the rules as if you know what a fucking F means. This game clearly didn't sell in Europe.
Nope.
Oh, I see the challenge chart right here.
I've always thought of this as a great idea for a game that was hamstrung by one of the most god-awful systems in existence. And this comes from a person who plays Starfleet battles.
I mean, I myself, I don't have a huge problem with rolling and referencing a chart because some charts are easy to remember. This one, not so much. This reminds me of, I don't remember the name of the system, but it used the deck of cards. But it also used dice, and the dice were logarithmic in their level. Shatter Zone.
Oh, God.
Master System.
I
think that was what Major System or
Master System.
Worlds or something. But it had its own deck of cards. And the cards were fucking cool. They were also incomprehensible.
Right.
And the dice system was cool, but it was logarithmic. Who remembers logarithms in school?
Yeah.
Logarithms? But who
I don't
knows them?
Know what you're saying.
I know a
right
couple
now.
people in my life who do. They all work in public health and deal in epidemiology.
Well, apparently none of them bought Shatter Zone because that game failed. Okay.
And who needs epidemiologists right now anyways, Jacob? Oh,
all right. So here's how this works, which I said before. Conducting genetic surgery of this nature has a difficulty of 4. Got it. Very difficult task is what it says. The difficulty. No. There's no difficulty. Here we go. But what does the challenge do?
so if we get under 4, then it was just like a badly botched surgery, but tough shit. Here you go anyways. Am I understanding this correctly?
But what does the difficulty do? It says a difficulty of -4, but what does -4 mean?
Why would you need to know that?
I don't, this is so confusing. Oh, God. It doesn't.
We're breaking
It just assumes that you the assumptions being made, like the leaps of logic in this game, Okay, for example, a character with a dex 6 wants to leap a 4-foot fence. Considering the situation for a moment and consulting the difficulty chart, the GM decides that leaping the fence is a difficult action with a 1 in 3 chance, which is a difficulty of 3. Okay, a difficulty which you personally could perform maybe 1 to 3 attempts. Thus, the challenge has a difficulty of 3. The challenge is then resolved using the rules for resolving pass-fail challenges, pitting the character's dex of 3 against a fence of... What does that mean? What is a difficulty of 3?
Versus a fence level of... What the... Like, fences have levels in this game? I feel like they could clean this up a little bit.
Okay. A character with a detective ability of 7 is scanning a crime scene for clues. The GM raised the difficulty of this action at 3. Okay, I got it. Great. Sure, whatever. The player rolls the dice and gets a 4 and a 4, allowing him to roll again, and the second roll gets a 6 and a 9 for total, blah, blah, blah. 30. But where does the 3 come in? There's no 3 in this example.
There is literal steam coming out of NPC's ears right now.
Difficulty doesn't mean anything. Like, there's it doesn't mean anything.
Oh my God, I love watching this so much. Oh my God, it's so good.
What the fuck? Oh, it's just the fucking point ad that the GM adds to their role. It doesn't say that. It doesn't actually fucking say anywhere that the GM adds this number to their role. Fuck you, Ray Winninger. You know what? You can go just fucking piss off with Gary Gygax and your incomprehensible fucking rules. Okay, we're going to roll for your goddamn surgery. Are you ready for this? Xander, we're going to start with you because you're the one suffering the most.
Give me some fucking surgery. And let me know where I'm writing what at and why.
Oh, I will. What you're going to do is roll skill rating of surgeon. You're going to roll for the surgeon. So you're going to roll 2d10 and add them together. And then you're going to add 12 to that.
Oh, that's not bad. The worst I can get is 14.
That would involve rolling boxcars, which, yeah, no.
Is that bad? Is 14 bad?
Well, if you roll boxcars, that means you get to roll the dice and add it again. So actually, boxcars isn't the worst.
Right. So there's no way you can get 14. The worst you could get.
As far as I can tell, there's no critical failure. And I'm just going to go with that. I'm not going to reference any more further rules. These rules have broken me.
Okay. And where am I putting this down?
All you got to do is just roll 2d12.
Am I going down the line?
Or sorry, 2d12, 2d10. Nope, it's one roll.
No, I know. Like, I start with microvision, then whatever I wrote down here first. Is that what I'm doing?
Nope, whole thing. All or nothing. Roll me that. What'd you get?
I've rolled a 9.
Total?
Total.
Okay, add 12 to that.
Fuck you. 20.
21?
21.
Okay, I rolled a 13. So, you, a 21 minus 13 is 8.
Sure.
Yeah. Is it or 9? No, 8.
No, it is 8.
8.
It's 8.
That's a B grade. You got a B grade. You know what that means? Because I don't.
Do I write down? No, is that for all of my surgeries, or we're doing one by one by one?
No. Depending upon how well the surgery goes, your character can begin with more or less units of each enhancement. That all of the enhancements that you purchased are increased by +2.
Oh, over the B grade?
Yeah.
So again, point of clarification: are we doing this per enhancement, or is this like all one surgery happened all at once? Everything's grade B.
We have to do it one at a time. God damn it!
Fuck yeah, let's do this.
Mike is trying to install 4 enhancements. The surgeon must undergo 4 challenges. Oh, man. So whatever one you have it listed first gets +2. Whatever its rating is, increase it by 2. Are you ready to do this again? No, we're going to go back and forth. Jacob, you ready?
Okay. That was a +2
I'm
to
guessing you also put $1 million in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's it's the dice plus
2d10
12,
plus 12.
Plus 12. Okay.
And what was the question, Xander?
So I just write +2 next to the rating.
No, you just increase the rating by 2. Okay, what'd you get, Jacob?
For my gills, I rolled a 29.
29 minus 10 is 19, which means that's an A rating. Pages, which means your gills go up by 3 points.
Yay. I'm great at parties.
Okay,
I stick
back
my
to
head
you,
in the fish
Xander, for
tank.
the second one. Which is the second one?
Telescopic vision.
Okay. Roll that. Add 12 to it.
8 plus 12 is 20.
20 minus 11 is 9. So this is the B grade. That one goes up plus 2. Jacob?
17.
17 minus 3 is another A plus, or another A rating. That one goes up 3 points.
How do I get your fucking surgeon? Jesus.
The tides can turn. What's your next one, Xander?
Emotional control.
Okay.
Let's see what we get for this. 17 plus 12 is 29.
Okay. Minus 3 is significant. That one goes up 3 points.
Hell yeah.
And Jacob?
My chameleon comes in at 20.
Okay. Minus 19.
Oh, God.
Is a D grade. No change.
Yikes.
Just remember that, folks. D is passing.
D is passing. It is. Xander, what's your last one?
Invisibility.
Okay.
It's 9 plus 11 is math.
Yeah, well, 9 plus 11 minus 9 is still 11, so that's an A rating. That one goes up 3 points. Jacob?
So let's see. 17 plus 12 is 29.
17 plus 12 minus 12 is 17, so that's an A rating. That one goes up 3 points. Do you have any more?
That's it for me.
That's it. Woo!
Oh, that's it for me, too. I fared pretty well on that. 3 Bs and an A. I'm not going to complain about that.
Ooh.
Jacob, what'd you end up at with all your numbers?
So my gills are at 15. My swimming is at 15. My chameleon is at 7. And my regeneration is at 6.
Okay.
So now that your enhancements are installed.
So I got microvision at 6, telescopic vision at 11, emotional control at 11, invisibility 13.
Now that your enhancements are installed, you must spend your time in Slumberland and undergo psychological reconditioning to lessen the impact of metagenic feedback trauma. Those were also words. The amount of money you allocated to reconditioning determines the skill level of your reconditioning counselor.
So sorry, Jacob.
Oh my God. Each of these enhancements we must again roll.
I am ready.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I know Xander put in a 5 mil, so your skill rating of your counselor is 12. Jacob, what'd you put in?
Cool.
I put in 1 mil.
1 mil. Your skill rating is only 9.
Wait, he puts in like fucking 5 times less than I do and gets 3 point. Like, what?
Have you worked with social workers? This is how it goes.
All right, that's fine. Whatever. Let's boogie woogie.
Oh, we didn't write down stress ratings.
I
We
did.
should have done that. You
I
did? Okay, Xander, what are
Yeah.
what are your special powers?
Microvision,
Alphabetically, emotion control.
emotional control,
Oh my God. What is your total unit rating?
11.
11 divided by 5. We're going to put that as stress rating 2. No, it's rounded up. Stress rating 3.
Shit. Okay. Invisibility, 13.
Stress at 5.
Shit.
Okay.
Microvision,
Microvision.
rating 6.
Stress at 1. I don't know what some of these words mean. I'm not going to bother with it.
Telescopic vision, rating 11.
Stress 3.
Got it.
Now we're trying to reduce the stress of your implants and your modifications. No, there's more math that we're not going to deal with. I'm just flipping this page off because it says as long as we're dealing with stress, you may as well go ahead and calculate your no. Fuck you. Okay.
What's really funny right now is NPC is literally rolling up a newspaper right now and hitting this book on the nose. And the book deserved it.
Okay. This time we'll start with Jacob.
Roger. Gills.
+9.
Yep. 25.
Okay, reduce the stress -3 points.
Can you go negative?
Nope. Oh, wait. No. I wasn't adding in the difficulties of any of the rules that we made. Guess what, folks? You lucked out on the last one because I forgot to add the difficulty, which means that you got a whole lot of free shit. I'm going to add the difficulty from the last check to this one.
God damn it.
We're going to be more crazy.
Whatever, I got all kinds of fucking recovery money, reconditioning money.
Which means I am adding 13 to my rules. What'd you say your total was there?
25.
Okay, I got a 24, which means that, let me check the comparison table. Only was a D grade. No change.
Stress a 2.
Okay. Xander.
Are we going alphabetically again?
Yeah.
Emotional control.
Roll.
2d10. Am I adding?
2d10 plus 12.
22.
It's 10 plus 13 is 23. Which means no change in stress.
Ooh, doggies.
Okay, next one.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And I'm adding a 9. Okay. Math. 24.
That is going to be a C.
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. 22.
That's going to be a C grade at -1. Xander, what's your next one?
Invisibility.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, dear Lord.
22.
No change.
Whew.
Your stress cannot possibly go up. It simply can't get better.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with stress is not good.
Yep.
Great. Invisibility is my
Chameleon.
highest so far.
The chameleon?
25.
That's going to be a B rating, -2. Reduce your stress by 2. Xander, what's the last one? Is that it?
No, I still have microvision and telescopic
Okay,
vision.
micro, roll for it. Yours is +12.
19.
19. No change.
My last skill.
Wait. No, wait. No, yeah, no change. Sorry. I'm looking at 2 different charts.
My last power, regeneration. 24.
And you're only adding +9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
That's a D rating, no change. And Xander, telescopic vision.
Let's see what we got.
Oh.
Xander, I love these dice. I just want to say these
Ugh.
dice have been so fucking kind to me.
Yeah, and they stop being kind to me right now. That's a 15.
I rolled an 18 plus 13. No, that means no change. So which of your
Do you have any
enhancements-
powers left, Xander?
Yeah, so here's the question. Which of your enhancements has the highest rating?
I have a tie
What is it?
between gills and regeneration, both at stress of 2.
No, I mean the highest unit rating.
Oh,
Rank.
that would be a tie between swimming and gills at 15.
Well, gills would give you a psychosis of paranoia, whereas swimming gives you a psychosis of panic disorder. Yay. Xander, what's your highest rated power?
Invisibility.
Oh, that's fucking antisocial behavior right there. That's, yeah, sociopathy.
Where did I write that down?
Just wherever you want. I don't know.
Under notes.
Sure.
You said antisocial?
Actually, if it's right below your attributes. If you look at your attributes, there's psychosis and a line next to it.
Oh, I see. So,
So do I get one or both of those?
am I writing down antisocial or what?
Sure.
Do I get one or both of them?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. If I were to role play this, I would use a different fucking gaming system. Jesus Christ. What? Optional step. We are not doing the optional step. Sorry. No. 8.5. Fuck you. Okay. Step 9 is simply choose an archetype. Archetypes aren't limiting. They really just sort of give you options, something to do. Okay. Think of it this way. The options begin for archetypes. If you have the PDF is page 116. I'm just going to read them to you, Xander. Vigilante, political hardcore, spokesman, primitive, nihilist, cyber celebrity, criminal, and bureaucrat. Which of those interests you?
Can you go back to the first couple ones?
Vigilante, political hardcore, spokesman, primitive, nihilist, cyber celeb, criminal, and bureaucrat.
I'm thinking maybe nihilist.
We believe in nothing, not even nihilism. It's 2021, and Armageddon is undoubtedly just around the corner. There's so much pain and suffering in the world that there's little point in even thinking about it. You can't possibly make everyone happy. How you make a living. Few nihilists are capable of holding a real job for long. Most live off the welfare system and the good graces of the Veterans Fair Housing Act. A few extra earn money by freelancing for the small-time criminal syndicates. They spend a lot of their time shuffling around the city and keeping themselves entertained.
I think a nihilist would make sense. Someone that went into the military for the noble cause of being a combat medic, only to come out just wanting to just kill people instead.
Yep. Character goals. Find something to care about. Try to stay entertained.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I like that. And where did I write that down? Just somewhere.
Archetype, if there's a spot for it. If not,
sure isn't.
Just fucking note it down wherever you want, man. Sky's the limit. Free your mind, bro.
Look, man, it's fucking nihilism 2021. I don't give a fuck. I put it wherever I please.
Oh, man. All right. Jacob, what are you thinking?
Political hardcore.
All right. Why?
He went from a insular Ozark rural background, went into war, came out, and is now like radicalized.
Okay. The last step is background. And buying stuff, and we're not going to go through the fucking equipment list. So here you have 100,000 plus some various things to buy some stuff. Tell me what's your most expensive thing?
Ooh. Let's see. You got an idea?
I think my most expensive thing is probably going to have to go and be a sniper rifle.
Gotcha. That totally makes sense.
Mine's going to be a blade of some kind. I just don't know what.
Are we talking like small, really expensive, like couple inch long blade? Or are we talking like a sword, samurai sword?
I was thinking more along the lines of a Bowie knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Crocodile Dundee knife.
Yeah.
That's not
that
a knife.
This is a knife.
Did he die, Paul Hogan? I think he did.
I think he did. I'm not sure. Don't quote
I
me.
haven't heard that name in a long time.
I know he made a ton of money off those movies and kind of like retired and did some Australian broadcasting network stuff or some shit like that.
How do you two know each other? You met during the war?
Yeah, we served together.
Or a war?
Yeah. I think we were in a campaign together, and it could have been the thing where like I had to go and treat him in combat or something like that, or maybe it was back at the cantina afterwards, and the two kind of loners decided to go and become fast friends because no one else got them. Something like that is what I'm thinking.
Something like that.
Yeah. So the name of your unit in the wars, it was the Adjective Animals. What was it? And no, it's not the self-respecting gerrymanderers.
God damn it. Patton's Panthers.
Oh, I love that. Yep, that's good. That's
Okay, cool.
Pets, Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do now?
Okay, in this future dystopian hellscape.
Of the 90s.
Of the 90s.
Yes.
Is it the 90s?
No, I mean, it's 2021, but it's a 90s
Game.
future dystopian.
Yeah.
Which means that when it was filmed, if this were made into a television show or a movie, we would still have like shoulder pads and high collars and big hair.
Got it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
but not like Warhammer shoulder pads.
No, unfortunately
like
not.
Babylon 5 shoulder pads.
Oh, God. Wow. All right.
You take that back. You take that back right now.
I shall do no such thing. I think that probably what my character is doing is she's probably going and taking, small time job from like, various warring gangs of just like, I get that knock in the middle of the night and it's like, hey, we got someone who needs to be patched up. Like, are you here? Can you do it?
We have someone we've patched up. Can you shoot them?
Yes. Yeah.
They are 10 miles away from you.
So it's a variety of that. Like my I'm thinking my apartment's kind of known as like the place where you take someone that's got like fucking 4 holes put in them, and they just need to go and like get this person like stitched up and stabilized, and then the gang fucking takes them away. Like that's just all it is, and they know that it's kind of everyone knows that like I have no signs, I have no loyalties, I have no allegiances. It's just the person that like you take someone to get patched, and that's what I do, and then. There are very, very few that realize that my actual better skill is putting the holes in people.
Have you ever had to repair someone you've shot?
Oh, yeah, it was really awkward. It was like, okay, all right, no more drinking before the job.
Well, the job wasn't to kill them. It literally said to shoot them.
Just put a hole in them.
Just
done.
Yeah.
Didn't say where. Or how good it had to be.
I make my bread by being a veterans outreach worker for a local homeless shelter.
This is supposed to be fiction, Jacob.
Hey, now.
You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
But like I'm like what I spend most of my time is being a hardcore veterans rights activist.
Okay. So how did the two of you hook up after the war to do like, superhero stuff? I mean, activism only goes so far, right?
Well, I mean, like we were standing on a runway in San Diego, a couple Purple Hearts, and we moved a little slow.
Oh, God, you made a beautiful Steve Little reference right there. And that is the fucking precipice of how we got together. Maybe nobody knows. Nobody cares about a place called Vietnam. Yeah, God damn it, Jacob.
I think what happened then is that you were actually at a bar somewhere and that song started playing and you both started mouthing out the words sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
And we both just looked at each other and just went, Johnny come lately. Yeah, no, I think that was it. And it was like, hey, didn't I patch you up that one time? And it's like, weren't you that person that always sat alone in the corner? I remember you.
Yeah, I was naked at the time.
It was like, yeah, I remember you. And then we start, recounting war stories. We start ordering drinks for each other. It becomes like a real drunken night. Yep. And then it's just like one of those, so what are you doing these days?
By sheer coincidence, we mustered out at about the same time. Our deployment area, our post-deployment drop point was the same place. And we just ended up kind of accidentally circling each other and ended up functionally as neighbors. And since you only trust those who had your back, unless you have weird codes that get in the way of that.
Where are you living? What is the neighborhood?
And this is just anywhere within the United States.
Where did you end up? Yeah.
Part of me wants to say that we ended up in Charleston.
I was actually thinking Pennsylvania, but I like Charleston more.
Okay. Yeah, let's go Charleston.
Okay. I was just reading about Charleston earlier today and how it appears in Rift's Earth.
Ooh.
I've kind of been reading a shitload of Rift. It's a different dystopian future. It is pure apocalyptic, but also hilariously so. This game is not hilarious, although it is. It's hilarious and it's disturbing. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's a game that I always thought had some brilliant ideas behind it that was just absolutely crippled by
The system.
an ungodly system.
Yeah.
And it's like a game that I would love to figure out how to like take the concepts, like even the character creation concepts. I really like.
They're not bad.
The mechanics are just so god awful.
It's taken us 2 hours for two of us to make two characters.
Yeah.
And we're not that dumb.
Nope.
I'm thinking something like this could serve very well if ported over to something like, dare I say it, Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
Because Savage Worlds has a mechanic system that's easy enough to deal with. It's a little more pulpy, though, than this game, I think, deserves.
Yeah.
I think part of the thing is, like, the pulp really only exists in the characters' heads. The stark reality of it is that they're not as awesome as they think they are.
Right.
They actually are really awesome, but the rest of the world is, like, awesomer because it's...
But they're also doing terrible things and not realizing they're doing terrible things.
Part of me has a hankering, now that I'm thinking about it, which I haven't before this, is seeing what would be possible by porting it over to Gumshoe using the Mutant City Blues rule set.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea.
Because, I mean, like, some of, like, we haven't gotten into any of the background, like how people actually started being able to give other people powers and that stuff.
Yeah.
But there's some cross similarities there. Both are predicated on genotype splicing.
Yeah.
I think that the split between quote unquote investigatory abilities and active abilities would work real well for this game. It comes in with a built-in power set. The powers don't scale quite up to the height that, but they come damn close.
Unknown Armies could do this very well.
Yeah, that would be a lot of retooling, though.
I don't think so. It's got the magic system. It's got the avatars, and I haven't even read 3rd edition. I backed the Kickstarter. I got the hardbound signed books on my shelf. And one day I will actually open them to read them beyond looking at the beautiful illustration and layout in those books. I know Unknown Army 2nd edition so well, but I think the game system
the mechanics
Army would serve this so much better. And it has a built-in stress and insanity system.
Yep.
Which is, to me, one of the best stress and sanity systems I've ever seen in a role-playing game. Because it's not just like, oh, you're going crazy, mark 4 insanity points. It's, which of these ways are you going to break?
Are you going to break hard, break fail?
Are you going to break towards solitude? Are you going to break towards murder? Are you going to break towards, all these different aspects of how would a character breaking be more interesting in a game than simply, I have 17 insanity points. How insane am I?
Yeah.
This is, I like the concepts of this game. There's a lot of buy-in. A lot. There's a lot of background. And I can only imagine how this background must have felt in the 90s. Imagine now buying this now.
Oh, yeah.
Buying this now is only a matter of just sort of like reimagining certain things that happened. And that's not that difficult. You just got to kind of buy into some of the catchy zinger lingo that's in the game.
Yep.
But playing this in 1993, I could only imagine being exceptionally difficult.
As someone who's literally in the middle of writing up a Red Markets campaign, which, came out less than 5 years ago, but is very informed by the current events. It's like it takes a commitment to bend in, because when you lean into this, you're leaning face first into a cheese grater of, suffering.
Yeah. Cheese grater of suffering. Yeah.
I think that needs to be a new special magical item in Hammercrawl.
Note to self, NPC. Make it so.
Yeah. But so I love the concept of this game. I think that it's beautifully dark. I think that it has a lot of parallels to ironically, the world we're living in right now in 2020, and to the way in which we treat our veterans. And again, the movie parallels that just Jacob mentioned earlier. Because of that, I think it's a beautiful world. I, however, want to take the character creation system and just, light it on fire and never look back.
What about this versus, say, Whole?
Go fuck yourself. At least after fucking 4 hours of making this creation system, at least at the very end, it didn't just go and be like, all right, start over. Because you rolled wrong. Because that's what fucking happened. And I literally cried on the air.
I would like to again note that the whole character creation system is a joke. And it's meant as a way of nodding to Traveler in the random aspects of its play. And I think it does so masterfully. And its big old 1990s middle finger to establish conventions of role playing.
And at least Jacob got to go and complete his character. Must have been fucking nice.
Speaking of completing character creation, I think that we need to do another short micro jam soon.
Yep.
Because we need to make a spaceship for our Firefly game.
Yes, we do.
Which we now have a GM for. And I haven't released the character episode for it because I'm waiting to do the spaceship. I want to have them together.
We have a GM?
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Halo Hand has volunteered to do it. I'm sorry, Halo Hand. He's, Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
So we just have to release the episode, the character jam. It's there. I just don't want to leave people hanging, and I want to release it with the
ship.
With the ship. We got to have a ship. We just went too late.
Oh, my God. My fucking Jesse Custer character is going to be real, and it's going to be so good.
I'm so looking forward to playing the sexy, stupid Chris Hemsworth secretary character who just occasionally slides into a scene and punches someone who's harassing the captain.
Oh my God.
Halo Hand, if you're listening, we need a dance number in the Firefly game.
Oh my God. Maybe I don't want to appropriate another culture, but if it's going to be a dance number, I need to make them Indian. I just got to pick an Indian actor, like a youngish one, to visually portray him. I'm not even going to attempt to do an accent.
Nope, don't.
Not going to do it.
Don't.
But for some reason, I was thinking of him as Russian, but no, I think, yeah.
It's going to be so good. But this. Oh, Jacob.
Yes.
What's your character's name?
I hadn't figured that out yet.
Okay.
What's your code name? We at least need a code name.
Okay.
Your hero name.
Oh, that's easy.
What?
That's easy. Salamander.
Salamander. All right.
I know. I know the character's name. Connolly Pettimore.
What is that a reference to? I don't get it.
Johnny Come. Oh, it's a reference to a Copperhead Road.
Yep.
Copperhead Road by Steve Earle, which we also made another Steve Earle song reference earlier today with Johnny Come Lately. So, John Lee Pettimore. That's perfect. Oh, my God. That's so fucking good.
I thought you said Connolly.
I slurred. It's John Lee Pettimore.
So this is a Connolly.
Same as my daddy and my daddy before.
John Lee Pettimore.
John Lee Pettimore. Yeah.
Okay. I dig it.
Oh, that's so good.
I like that you guys have made something good out of this experience. I've actually enjoyed this. There were moments of suffering, but for the most part, it hit a certain few notes of my desire to master a system. I felt them coming out, and at least I was able to find the references that I needed. I would never fucking run this game. No. I like the ideas of the characters, but I would love to see them in a better system.
I would too, and I think I'm going to go and hold on to this character concept and use her in another system that would make more sense.
Like Shadowrun.
Like fucking Shadowrun. Like
which has a lot of math, but the math makes sense.
Yes.
And it doesn't have you make rolls against charts to figure out if your character concept even works.
Yeah, I like that better. So my character's name, I ended up calling her Sasha Minaj, codename Widowmaker.
There we go. We got Widowmaker, and I've already forgotten.
Salamander.
You should be Copperhead, though.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Gills.
Oh, yeah.
Camouflage.
Right.
Swimming. Regeneration.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay, good call. I accept.
Ozarks.
You just need a third. You need a third person to take the
Who can drive?
Someone who can drive a car. I don't know. Maybe, I guess.
You need a third person who is also either invisible or camouflage or has another one, like a body morph or something. All of you need to have some kind of a strange visual ability. If only I made a character, I would think of it, but I'm glad I didn't because I didn't want to suffer like you did. So we're thank you for going through this experience. I'm glad we did this now and not after all of that Mad Dog, because it would not have been the same experience.
It would have been so viciously evil.
It would have been horrible.
And Poppy would have hated it.
Oh, she would have started throwing things at you. I would have let her.
I think you would have thrown up a second time.
Oh my God.
This shit. This was fun. This was more fun than I thought it would be. I committed to it and we went to it, and I spent all day thinking, God damn it. But you know what? It worked out. We've gone way over time, but whatever. It's a character jam. We do that shit sometimes.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and again, I enjoyed making the characters. I enjoyed exploring the world. I hated the math. But that's all I can say is that it's a cool world, but get your shit together.
Are we talking cool world as in the Ralph Bakshi movie, or cool world as in like you actually meant Cool Runnings with Dougie Doug?
Dougie Doug.
Dougie Doug. Yeah, all the way. Well, thanks for listening, folks. This has been Bikers, Dice, and Bars with another character jam. I don't think we're nearly as drunk as we should be for this kind of stuff, but you know, it's
I had to slow down because of all the numbers you threw at my fucking face.
Yeah. This is a departure from the games that we normally do, but we're going to get back to some random roll shit next time.
Yes.
Low math.
This
more
man
excitement.
needs an editor.
Who, me or this?
No, the guy who wrote that book. Roy, what's his fucking name?
Roy, what's his name? Ray Winninger. And he's in charge of Dungeons and Dragons.
Roy Lusinger.
Yeah, Roy Lusinger. Roy Lusinger is currently in charge of Dungeons and Dragons, for the record.
Great.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm excited about.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Once again, I'm NPC.
I'm just Jacob.
The good Dr. Xander, Gerrymander.
And
as always, keep a shiny side up.
Yeah.
Always tip your bartender. Never drink Mad Dog again.
Roll those crits and avoid math games.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for joining us, friend. We've reached the end of Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Talking bicycles and motorbikes, gamer things and all the like. You can listen to it in your car. But Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Bikers, Dice, and Bars. Yep.